Microtransactions have become a part of gaming life, but why? There is a myriad of reasons that microtransactions are in almost every game, in almost every genre, and almost every pricing model in the gaming industry. Every game has their own set of reasons why they enabled microtransactions. For free-to-play games, it is because they need to make some return on their game. For some companies, EA, Activision, sorry, I must have something in my throat. It's for pure greed.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-chingery. Money, oh money, how I love thee.
Today we will go over the most common reasons for microtransactions. I already talked about one, sadly, common reason, greed. Many companies are forced to do slightly aggressive pricing models due to the rising cost of developing games, but that's for later in this video. This is done in two main methods: yearly or bi-yearly releases with reused assets to save time, or with in-game microtransactions. Some games, though, through pure greed, decide to do both. This is blatantly seen with games such as EA Sports titles, Call of Duty, which also jack up their prices through deluxe editions, a perfectly fine method of monetization not crammed in with the rest of them, and NBA 2K. It is not surprising to see sports titles on this list. Expect to see them returning onto this channel quite often, as there are quite a lot of bad things in the gaming industry that originate from them, surprisingly. And the sad part is, these games have loving developers who want the best for their games. It is just when money means everything to these public corporations, and they aren't slapped on the wrist by the free market like they were during the Battlefront 2 debacle, they go hog wild and nothing stops them. A perfectly good reason for microtransactions is free to play. Many people think poorly of this model, as it has gotten a bad name from the pay-to-win takeover of the mobile market, but it is truthfully a good strategy. It allows players who pay money to support the costs of allowing everyone to play the game, and this can be done right through cosmetic-only purchases. Yes, that's right, I am using Fortnite as a good example. Don't expect to see that again soon. The rising cost of development throughout the gaming industry is a big driving factor behind why games are getting more aggressive with microtransactions. The price of games has been stuck at a stable $60 US since the 90s, so the money must come from elsewhere. These rising costs can be attributed to three things: servers, quality, and continued content. The first is servers. With more and more online games coming to the market, this becomes more and more common. Servers aren't cheap, take my word for it, and video games are in a weird predicament. They require a large volume of high processing, large packet flow servers. This is not cost effective at all in the server market and leads to wildly outrageous costs. The second is quality. With the console wars raging, even dragging in the PC now, they are always looking for a new battle point. Quality and fidelity are easily comparable, and that is the new all-out craze for them. One of the biggest selling points of the new consoles and the RTX line of graphics cards is ray tracing, the next step in graphics. Better models, textures, and engines aren't cheap, and this has hurt the industry greatly. The third and last reason is continued development. Until recently, games have just released and been left behind, perhaps given DLC, but free content updates weren't really a thing, and for some time weren't even possible. This style still exists, but gamers now expect new free content from their games, even offline ones, and this is not cheap. Between these reasons, rising costs have a chokehold on the gaming industry, and the only way to beat it is through microtransactions. Overall, microtransactions, done properly, are a good thing for the industry. If you don't like them, you're going to have to either start liking them or start paying $80 for your games. Releasing a $60 game with no continued funding and still updating it is almost impossible. There are exceptions, but those are oddballs. If we want games to keep coming out, we are going to have to pay for them in some way, and currently, microtransactions are the best way.